PD, off and clear, 73.
Yeah, well, I'm not one to wait. I want to get in there straight away. As soon as it's broke, I'm the lid off, man. Over.
Oh yeah, well that's your best policy.
And so for the consequences, and I've got to run outside. I think we've got a bad patch here. I have a very good talking out, Barry.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll sort it, no problem. It's probably caused by the wind. All the best then.
Yeah, I got an antenna relation, man. 1 quart to the shaft.
Cheers.
G4HPD M0JCF. Golf 4 Hotel Papa Delta. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
This is G4HPD. Okay, I think that was a Mike 0 calling me, but this is not my frequency. It's GW4XLS's frequency, and I don't know if he's actually gone off the air because he's got a problem. But Ian, are you going off air?
Nothing heard this end, Barry. The name is Mark. I heard Ian have a problem. I did try to break in earlier, but you was in full flight, and I thought that he'd gone to resolve a problem. So I thought I'd quickly jump on you with some information about what you was talking about, really. G4HPD M0JCF.
Okay, you're 5 and 9, but I didn't get your call sign. Could you repeat your call sign?
No problem. It's Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Got you, and the name as well.
Yeah, the name is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo, and I'm just down in Sidcup in Kent, so not a million miles away, but just well, you're equidistant, I would have said, between me and Ian. Back to you.
Oh yeah, you're in my friend Doug's G6INUs down in Sidcup, so you're probably his neighbour. Is that right, Mark?
Yeah, Doug, G6INU, it's really funny. The amount of people that say to me, Sidcup, oh yeah, do you know Doug, G6INU? He's always on 40 metres. But yeah, I've never met him, but I've spoke to him many, many times. And as the crow flies, he's probably quarter to half a mile away from me. Back to you.
Right, Mark. What were you going to say? You said you were going to comment on something I said. Back to you, Mark.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, by the way, you're 5 and 9 plus, Barry. Yeah, it was interesting. You was talking about old radios, and you both came up with numbers and letters. And I thought to myself, I've got to jump in here and just explain. I'm currently talking to you on a Yaesu FT, a 101ZD, sitting right next to it. A radio that I use very often is a Trio TS520S. Sitting on top of that, believe it or not, a Swan 350, which of course was a copy of the KW. I forget, I might have been the Vanguard or something. I can't remember the models, but you know, obviously it's a copy of one of those. And then I've got a few others around as well: Yaesu FR50B, an FR100B, an FL100B, and I love my old school radios, Barry. And that was all I was going to come in and tell you, because that's what you were talking about. Currently running on a 90-foot long wire as well. You can't get much more old school. Back to you there, Barry. G4 Hotel Papa Delta. This is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Oh, lovely. Very, very nice. That FT101ZD is sounding very good, actually. I would not have known you were using a vintage radio, and you must have it tuned up. Did you have to do much work on it, Marco?
Absolutely no work whatsoever. The story is, I bought it just this one. I bought just before Christmas. It was as brand new in the box as you can get, complete with tags hanging off it still. The manuals, service and user manuals. I've got the paperwork, receipts and everything. It was actually purchased in South Africa. It came from a silent key who was both a G3 and a ZS, and he died 5 years ago, and all of his ham radio estate had been sold off previously, and his good lady wife just had this radio and a few other homebrew bits hanging around, and she couldn't get anyone to buy it. And so somebody said to me, Mark, would you like to have a word with this lady? She's got some gear that she wants to offload. I thought, I'm a magnet for old stuff. So I went round there, and all she wanted was a donation to her church cause. And so I made a very nice, pertinent donation to her. She was absolutely over the moon, said it was too much. I said, no, it's honestly, this is what you've got. I'm willing to take it away, because a lot of it, Barry, she was actually going to put in the skip. She was at that right. We're giving it 5 years. It's time now to get rid of what no one wants to buy, obviously, in her mind. And it came in the original box and everything, and it just worked. The only thing it does do is it drifts anything up to 100 hertz. You might notice me every now and again, especially on long overs, I've drifted slightly, and I just have to sort of knock the VFO when I unkey. Currently peaking about 50 watts at the moment, and it's lovely. I mean, I can get up to like 160 watts out of it on tune up, and on voice anything up to about 130 watts normally. But today I'm just watching the meter. It's at it's about 50 watts, and the microphone that came with it is the Yaesu Yankee Delta 148 desk microphone. It's just a dynamic microphone. There's nothing special about it. So that's the story there, Barry. Back to you. Golf 4 Hotel Papa Delta Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
Okay, Ian. Sorry, Mark. GW4XLS, Ian has just returned to the frequency. He had some problem with his antenna. Had to go out and sort it out, I think. So I'm going to bail out. I was closing down, you see, but I thought I'd come back to you, Mark, and give you a report. And actually, you've done well there, because it sounds great, the SC101. And also, you said drifting. Yes, I get the same problem with my 520. It does drift, and especially when it's first switched on. And I think it's a problem with analog VFOs, They're not locked, are they? They're not digitized. Anyway, Mark, thanks for coming back to me, and I'll look forward to another QSO with you, and we can talk about old radios, and certainly you've got quite a good collection there. So all the best, Mark. Thanks again. I'm closing down for a cup of coffee. See you further down the log. M0JCF, this is G4HPD, signing off and clear, and going QRT. All the best, Mark.
Yeah, Barry, I really appreciate you coming back to me. As I say, it was only because you were both talking about these old radios, and I thought to myself, got that one. Oh yeah, I've got one of them. Be nice to work you with my 520 at some time as well, and that would be a really interesting gig. Okay there, old chap, take care, have a great afternoon. I won't be long on the frequency, and I would like to give the frequency, of course, back to Ian, as he may well have sorted his problem. All the very best, and 73 to you and yours. Be safe, be well, and happy 2022. GW4 X-Ray Lima Sierra, this is Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Foxtrot.
All the best. Barry, you take care. M0 Juliet Charlie Fox, GW4XLS, name is Ian IAN, and the QTH is just outside Wrexham in Off. Barry, if you're still there, you sound very much like an old friend of mine from many, many years ago, Julian. I think Julian lives in Ludlow or somewhere. Julian, forget his call. Very rarely speak to him on the radio. But you've got the same sort of voice as Julian. Just a quick one, sorry about this. Do you know Julian, the guy I'm on about? You know him by name anyway. He's got many Julians. Barry, over.
Sorry, Ian. I've just switched the linear off on 80 watts barefoot. I hope you can still hear me. No, I don't know him. No, really, how far back does it go?
Oh, he's still on the radio. I have heard him. He Okay, Mark, sorry about that one. Anyway, Zero Juliet Charlie Fox. I don't know which parts of the country. Oh, I know you're down south there. Well, accents from down south, but yeah, where are you, Mark? Over?
Yeah, GW4XLSM0JCF returning. Yeah, I'm in Sidcup in Kent. And before you ask, yes, I do know Doug G6INU, who also lives in Sidcup in Kent. I'm sure you know Doug's very prolific on 40 metres. And everyone asks me when I say Sidcup, do I know Doug G6INU? Never met him face to face, but we've spoken many times on 40 and 2 metres. But I think we might have worked fairly recently as well. Like Wrexham, I've not talked to too many people that mention the town of Wrexham, so it does sound familiar, but I could be wrong, you know. I mean, I'm sure there's more than one ham who lives in the Wrexham area. But no, as I was explaining to Barry, when I tried to break in earlier, Ian, it was because you were mentioning all these old school radios, and I'm thinking, do you know what? I'm using one of them. I've got one of them. And as I said to him, I'm using at the moment an FT101ZD, and right next door to it is my TS520S, and sitting on top of that, which is actually I'm restoring, is an old Swan 350, which of course was copied from one of the KWs, and then another bunch of old 1960s valve transmitters and receivers. And I just broke in just to sort of chew the fat with you quickly and let you know, like, you're not alone, you two, because I too have got all this old heavyweight hanging around. Back to you, GW4XLSM0JCF.
Yeah, okay, Mark. No, I don't know the guy you're on about, Doug. I don't know him. And yeah, your report's about a 5 and 7, but there was a lot of QSB on you there, Doug. I mean, Mark, sorry, a lot of QSB, and there's people coming on the band there. I don't know if obviously they're not hearing you or bad operators, whichever one it is. They either can't hear you or bad operators. But you're not too strong, and I think maybe the band is going to change you there, Mark. Yeah, Wrexham, there's quite a few hands up this way, but you don't hear them on the air. A lot of them go on 2 meters and that. But yeah, I keep trying to think now who the ones that are mostly on, but I can't even, I couldn't even, I know a lot of hands up here, but whether I don't hear them on the air. There is only one station that I know that's quite active, and he's on 2 meters, and he'll give me a call every now and again. Right there, Mark, I'll give it back to you for any final. Say the band's a bit bad between me and you. I'm running 400 here and a low dipole. M0 Juliet Charlie Fox, GW4 XLS.
Yeah, GW4XLSM0JCF returning for that final. Yeah, I'm only running about 50-60 watts at the moment. I turn the drive right the way back down on the radio. I always try and keep the power low, so I always back off the drive. I could wind the drive up and give you sort of 120, 130 watts. But yeah, I'm happy with that. You're 5 and 9, just nudging 5 and 9 plus with the QSB, anything between sort of 5 and 7. And when you was having your problem, you was between 5 and 6, 5 and 7, so all working well. I'm just using a 90-foot long wire there, Ian, so you know, it is what it is. But nice to speak to you, and so I just wanted to drop in and say you're not alone with this old gear. I do like my old gear, and I have started doing a lot of restoration work. I've got more modern gear. I've got a TS590S and an FT817, which when I say modern, you know, it's about as new as it's going to get for me. I've got nothing with touch screens or band scopes or waterfalls or anything like that. That really don't do it for me. I prefer old-fashioned controls that break off in your hands and stuff like that. So yeah, it's and I like things that keep you warm and make funny noises, all that old rubbish. But nice to speak to you, mate. I'll let you carry on. I'm going to go back QRT anyway, and I'll maybe catch up with you some other time. time and we can talk the talk and walk the walk. You take care, mate. Best 73 to you and the family, and look forward to the next time. And thanks for taking the call and giving me the time of day. It's always appreciated. I'll say bye-bye for now then. GW4XLS M0JCF. Cheers, Barry, and no, sorry, Ian. Oh, we're at it today. And good luck, old chap.
My antenna, well, to be honest, I don't have the antenna very high on this stand anyway, so what it is, my yard is down, so everything's very close to each other. But no, I got a bad patch weight on my antenna relay. And I tell you what, it was green. I could tell it's starting to go green, so there's water getting in there. It's an old plug, it's not a very good fit. I don't think rain gets in there directly, because it must blow. It's like underneath. I don't need a merit from the relay I have. Okay, Mark, take care, and nice to work you there. A couple of tuners on you there. People don't know how to tune these days. They actually tune the carrier right on the frequency. I don't know. They need to learn how to tune, don't they? Mike 0 Juliet Charlie Fox GW4XLS 73's Mark, and a very good afternoon to you.
Yeah, cheers, Ian, and nice to hook up with you, and wait with bated breath for another day. Bye bye for now. M0JCF is now clear of this frequency.
Right then, G0 UK, see you round the road.